Hey folks, and welcome back to Space Engineers. At the end of the last episode, I ran in a panic away from that ship because it was coming so close to my base, which is that hole in the mountain. It would have most certainly sent a drone after me if I hadn't gotten away. It seems like they don't react so much to there being other uh, ships or grids or anything like that, so much as they do the player themselves. So I panicked. I ran down here. I skipped across the lake, and in my panic, I forgot I was really low on energy. So I'm gonna have to try and make my way up this cliffside on foot and do it before I run out of juice. I think because I'm on the Earth-like planet, and because the atmosphere is warm and oxygen is high, if I run out of power, it's not going to be the end of the world. Or rather, it won't be the end of my character. But yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. I'm gonna, first things first, try and get my way back up there. So I'll bring you back when I have some progress. What was that? Transport courier. Interesting. All right, see you there. So this is funny. That stone, it didn't come from around here. I mined it all the way at the top near that nickel boulder, and it rolled all the way down here. And yeah, man, I didn't realize I was almost a kilometer above the level of the lake. So that's interesting. Man, it might be really impractical to try and pipe anything up there, but I could maybe do courier drones where the drones are down here at a mining operation and they come up and back and forth. That could be cool. I think I'm going to try and go up this way and then over maybe to where the boulder is and then down and in. Although there's that, the rift, the ledge that I've built the cliff into. So here we go. So I just had to jump up that part using my jetpack, and I have 38% left in the bottle. I have confidence. I think I'll be able to make it up there, especially since I can walk up this part here. But yeah, it's more hiking. Alright, so I made it back up to the fault line here, and I'm not far from the base. So, yeah, I guess I maybe wanted to take a minute to talk about my philosophy when it comes to how I'm playing this game and maybe what I'm doing recording videos for it. I I enjoy using mods, obviously. I'm adding that. That's not a feature of the vanilla game. That's a mod. But I also want to enjoy the game in as close to how the developers intended it to be enjoyed as I can. Um, I'm not trying to say that there isn't any value in playing a game heavily modded,
Energy
being
low.
very different from its intention. I haven't played this game long enough to feel like I've gotten everything out of it that it has to offer right from the get-go. But obviously, being able to have the community make mods that take a aspect of the game that you would normally find only up in space, which are these uh, NPC ships flying around that you can interact with. The developer, Keen, hasn't implemented that functionality for in the atmosphere. And I'm not sure why they hadn't yet, but what they did do was add the tools that would allow us, the players, the community, to add that. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not sure that I want to deviate too far from it. One of my good friends is a YouTuber, and he very strictly plays his game in a way that can be appreciated by anybody playing the game on any console, or any platform rather, specifically consoles. And I really appreciate that about his philosophy in terms of the game and the content he puts out. So I guess maybe I'll try and emulate him in that regard. So while I may not be able to show you exactly what it would be like to be on the planet if you're playing this on Xbox, it is... I'm not going to be doing things that you couldn't do on Xbox. It'd be just that, you know, with Xbox, all you'd have to worry about would be the wolves attacking you if you're on the planet. You wouldn't have to worry so much about ships coming by and sending drones after your base. But if you are into that kind of concern and that kind of fear, then there are places you can play. Play up on the moon, or play over on one of the moons on one of the other planets, like Io or Titan. Those places, they do have drones. So yeah, now that I'm back, I'm gonna make it. Well, I gotta refill that energy. So yeah, you use the energy to keep yourself warm, to turn on your lights, and to use tools. So I wasn't doing any of that during the trek up here, so I only lost 3 more points from when I started. But yeah, now that I am here, I'm going to start pursuing those 2 courses of action. Getting assemblers up and running, really only need the one to start, and then I'm going to do some more scouting, see if I can find where the nearest boulders with magnesium and cobalt and silicon are. And yeah, I already know there's the nickel boulder right there, and then there's the 2 iron boulders behind me. So, yeah, I'll get to doing all that, and I'll bring you back when I've made some progress. Alright, so this one's actually pretty close to the base, and it's blue, so that means it's either cobalt or magnesium. And cobalt. Alright, that's really useful. I will be able to now craft a ship. I can be airborne at will. Good progress. I still need to get a silicon source, though. I haven't even been able to finish my assembler because I need more displays. And that scuttler over there is just going up and down. I think it's bugged out, maybe. Maybe the autopilot's trying to figure out how to deal with that mountain. I don't think it's crashed, because you can see it's sort of moving a little bit up and down, back and forth. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Anyway. Cobalt. Boulder 1. See you guys in a bit. Here comes another boulder, and it's looking like it's got some dark patches. No, never mind. Those aren't dark. Those are bright. I bet you this is nickel. Yeah, nickel. Alright, nickel's not bad, just not what we're looking for. And we've got another boulder ahead of us. Let's see. I think I'm seeing some more shiny patches. More nickel. Alright. Another boulder. But this one is iron. And I don't want to get any closer to that fighter docking station. So I'm going to go down into the valley over there. I think I might have seen a boulder near the level of the lake. Well, I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news, but I also have some more good news. Good news is, I found a silicon boulder. Bad news is, I'm almost 2.25 kilometers from my base, and it's up a steep hill. But the other good news is silicon is, for what I have planned right now, is the thing I need the least of. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up what I can of my inventory here, maybe drop a couple of things to clear out some room, and bring back some silicon ore. And yeah, I should be able to get started with that assembler, and then a refinery, and then I gotta design my first little ship. Maybe I'll see what I can do about reusing the pieces from the drop pod that are not going to be useful anymore, like actually transferring those thrusters to something new. Alright, I'll brainstorm on it. Catch you guys later. Alright, made it back up the slope with the silicon. Let's see just how much of that I can get with the survival kit. Huh, why did it not want to take the silicon ore? There it did, okay. Silicon ore in, that's production, and if I queue up 1,000 of it, I'm getting... Oh, I don't know how much that's going to take, but it's easily making the last of those displays I needed. So, here, I'll keep you guys around for when I finish off that survival. Where is it? Ah, right, I have to go through here. And here it is. I might have... Yeah, I'll go around this side. I'm still being a little scringy with the pieces, cause you know I don't actually have to put those last 19 plates in there, so I'm not gonna. It's still going away at the silicon. Maybe I don't even need to make another trip. $36 of it, 37, and I still have 100 left. Yeah, right now I think I'll be okay. But the next thing I want to make is a refinery. I want to attach that refinery to this basic assembler. And obviously jumping is not working for me right there, but I have this here. And that there goes, let's see if I can do it with one jump, to the iron boulder.
Fuel critical.
Ouch, 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 ouch. Nope. Okay, cool. So, if I mine away at the iron boulder, the chunks will drop down here, and I want to put a collector in, collect them, and then immediately pipe them into the system, where they can then be refined and be utilized. One concern is all the stone that I'll be mining as well. I want to somehow get rid of that, so I'll need a ejector, or well, probably not an ejector, not on large grid, but on large grid you can use the connectors to throw things out. So I would have a sorter and a ejector. In the first and foremost, though, I think I'd have to do a lot of it by hand, but I want to get the collector placed right on this hole, so I can just mine for a little while, collect it all, and then put it in there, and then I'll worry about piping everything up afterward. Yeah, so let me start making some pieces for that. I'm going to go ahead and grab any of the ingots that I have. and put them into the assembler, because the assembler should be a little more efficient than the survival kit. Is that all of them? Yeah. Oh, and another thing the assembler can do is, like, these 11 large steel tubes, I can put them in here and go to production. On the basic assembler, I can go to disassembling. I can disassemble, so if I disassemble those 3 large steel tubes, that gave me 30 ingots. So that's a great way of getting back some of the resources from some of these things that I don't really need a lot of right now. I'm probably not going to do that too much, because who knows when how much I'll need of all that. So, yeah, let me get going on all this, and I'll show you guys what I can come up with. Okay, so hopefully I'll be breaking through here in a second where I think I am. Go this way a little bit. Where is it? Come on. Oh, there we go. Come on. All the iron. Go that way. And then...
Inventory full.
Oh, my inventory is full. Drop that. And it all goes... Come on, roll down the dang hill. Ah, you saw the smoke particles down there. That is exactly what it's supposed to do. I'll show you that in a moment.
Inventory full.
Alright, now I just have to drill away, I guess. Alright, let's go check out what the collector has collected, and I'll show you what I had to do to set it up. So, unfortunately, the drop shaft I had was not perfectly in line with the center of this thing. No, I'm crouching still. Okay. It was off center a little bit, so it would have ended up being I needed to put 2 of them in. But to save some resources, instead of putting 2 in and having it connected to that grid, I put it in 1, completely filling up that hole, put a rotor on it, attached a small head to the rotor, and attached a little battery. Because these guys don't need much in the way of power. 2 kilowatts. And this battery's got 2.37 kilowatt hours. Fully depletes in an hour, so I should be able to get a lot of drilling done in then. But yeah, look at that. 2.48 thousand metal, iron. All this stone is it's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to manually shuffle it out like that. But before I wanted to do this as a temporary thing quick before so I didn't have to go back and forth with all the metal plates in order to make a refinery down here. Now, I mean, like, literally, I just accomplished my first goal. Now I'm going to build the full setup with the pipes and everything. Bit of a magical moment coming up here, guys. Transitioning into the next tier of metals. Oh yeah. And the best part about it is all of these I can now start refining. So these should all just give iron, but let's, I mean, just watch how much iron I get from just these things I've been saving. Now, that, and that. Hello, cobalt. Yeah, so with the basic refinery, I put in 4 of the metal grids scraps, right? With the Aw Scrap mod, if I wanted to get a full amount of return on investment, I'm not even at a full 50% return, because 1 metal grid costs 1 cobalt. So I can only now make 1.5 cobalt. But the good news is I have a cobalt boulder, and it is actually only a kilometer away. So I'm going to go grab some more cobalt from that so that I can grab some metal grids being made so I can actually make this small cargo container. Then I'm going to run pipes over and up to where a collector will be, and I can just drain that boulder by hand. It'll all get collected by the collectors, fed into the refinery system, and I won't have to be a Scrooge anymore when it comes to building things. Still going to be careful. I still have to be careful because I don't have any way of, you know, easily getting things. It takes time to run a kilometer and come back, and so yeah, that'll be it. And don't worry, the drop shaft here, I am going to reuse it later on, cause I don't want to have to expose too much of my base to being attacked, right? So I want to have the blast doors here, and then I want to have an access point up in there where I can dump stuff out of a ship and it'll get collected. And I think I've got a pretty cool idea on how to do that, and that'll be coming up in a future episode. So now that we've got this all set up and we are ready to proceed, I think I will end the episode for today and invite you all back next time, where I will start working on finishing that collection system, and then I'm going to have metal grids, which means I can make more motors, I can make more thrusters, and I can get airborne again with a proper ship this time, not a hacked up drop pod. So there's more to come. Thanks again.